What are fish? What if I told you nobody for sure knew what fish really are? What if I told you I'm a fish? What if I told you you're a fish? But Mr. Fish Tank, you're saying, how could I be a fish? All I drink is Kool-Aid because it makes water edible. Well, let me stop you right there. First off, that's disgusting. Second off, let's define fish. Merriam-Webster defines fish as an aquatic animal. That's its first definition, as you can see here behind me. Terrifying. Everything in that sense is basically a fish. I mean, any person who's in water 51% of the time more than they are on land is maybe a fish. They're an aquatic animal at that point. A salamander's an aquatic animal. They're a fish. Dolphins, doesn't matter that they're mammals, that they don't breathe through gills. They're a fish. Jellyfish, it's in the name. They're not fish. But in this definition, they are. So take that how you will. That first definition, obviously, I don't like it very much. It's really vague. It lets anyone be a fish, anything be a fish. So let's go to their second definition. There's no way in heck. Okay, here's the second definition. Any of numerous cold-blooded, strictly aquatic craniate vertebrates that include the bony fishes and usually the cartilaginous and jawless fishes, and that have typically an elongated, somewhat spindly shaped body, terminating in a broad caudal. See caudal sense 2. Fin, limbs in the form of fins when present at all, and a two-chambered heart by which blood is sent through thoracic gills to be oxygenated. Yikes! That's a lot to handle. That's a scary sentence. That's like you're signing a contract to be a fish. Yeah, just sign right there and you'll be a fish. Man, I'm glad that Genie brought us together. I can't wait to be a fish. Yeah, just sign the contract, will ya? Come on. And signed. Yes. I've stolen your digits. I am a man now. Yeah. Monkey's paw. It's an extreme 180 from what we just had, and I got what I wanted, something more specific and defined, but at what cost? I mean, I could barely understand half of this. I had to go through and look up a lot of these words just to make sure that I was getting them right. Cranium, that's not the word they use. They use craniate. I mean, that just means cranium. It just means you have a skull, something hard up in your head. And then they're talking about cartilaginous fishes. So that's including sharks. Sharks have cartilage for bones. It defines a lot of stuff, and the real defining feature of this, to me, is A, that it says you have to have fins. You can't have digits or hands. I love that. Aquatic vertebrates all over the world. What is my cat doing? I love this. My cat out on the fence. Pay no mind to where I live. There's my that is a dividing fence. I live in an apartment. I love him. And honestly, it's only a tiny bit more specific. Yes, you need a skull and a backbone to be a fish. And you need fins, that's pretty good, but fins is really quite vague because dolphins have fins, whales have fins. Whales and dolphins are mammals, they're not fish. They're just wet. And gills, it adds gills, thoracic gills that a two-chambered heart pushes blood through. So that's pretty good. I mean, thoracic gills, I don't have gills. And like, I don't like this definition because it's too complicated. It's too big-brained. It's too many big words. An aquatic animal, and then the other option is your cranium must be a maximum size of 12 inches. This fish's cranium must be 12 inches by 12 inches. It must have been a very intelligent fish. Yes, and now my race science for the fish is coming to fruition. I am a fish eugenicist. I have a fish breeding program and I cull the ones I don't like. If you're ugly, you die. Okay, let's get a second opinion. We talked to Merriam-Webster. we're done talking to them. They're horrible. Okay, I don't like either of their definitions. Let's go to how about them? Google AI. That sounds great. AI's always led us astray. I mean, the right path. They've never done anything evil yet. I love you, AI overlords. Please don't come to my house and murder me. My cat's on a fence. I don't know what to do about it. Google AI says that a fish is defined as an aquatic animal with fins, no limbs and digits, gills, and a hard skull and a vertebrate. Oh my god, I did it all out of order, but I got everything in there. And I don't like this definition because it's going back and forth. Just say it has all these things and then it doesn't have these things. This is just Google AI being weird and wonky, I think, and simplifying more complicated answers like from Merriam-Webster. So once again, it's just stealing other people's work and changing it a little bit. I hate AI. Look at this guy. Doesn't like the way I'm holding him. Okay, Google AI. As much as I dislike AI, it's a pretty good definition. It gets to the point. It's simple. People can understand it. What is a fish? It's these things and it's not these things. It doesn't have these or these, and it's got these, and I keep imagining my gills here. I wonder if that's because I watch The Boys. Finally, let's talk a little bit about why we're fish. It's the backbone. All backboned animals come from the same relative, some ancient fish that we may or may not know about. This fish that we are all related to made all other fish and all other backboned invertebrates, including sharks, as far as our knowledge understands. Backbones only evolved once, and then everything had them, and it's kind of like the backbone of evolution in a way. There are lots of animals that don't have them. Bugs are a huge... There are more bugs than there are like anything else combined, and they don't have backbones. So this episode of Fish Tactic is brought to you by Coke. We're not sponsored. I just drink too much. Now back to the episode. So what's the point of all this? A lot of this was me trying to understand what fish are, the definition. I've never liked the words used for it, and I don't quite understand. Oh, don't do that too. I've never quite liked the words used for it, and I don't think anyone really knows what a fish is, to be honest, that I know of. Most people would call a dolphin or a whale a fish, and that's fine. You can call whatever you want a fish. I like an aquatic animal at the end of the day because it's so simple and anyone can use it. If you get so complicated and you got this and that and you can't have this and you have to have that, it becomes really confusing. I don't know, there's just so many like things. It's so vague. It's just a very vague thing, and fish aren't vague. They're really specific. So it's hard to talk about fish when everyone thinks of fish as like your local dog, I guess. So I ask you again, why haven't you found your perfect wet pet?
Fish down, I'ma put it down for you. Hit you with the swordfish tactic. Hit you with the goldfish tactics. Hit you with the moving tactics.